Gerber Suspension versus Leatherman Surge. Today we're comparing these two great multi-tools to see how they stack up against each other. We'll be scoring them based on price, specifications, and tools included. Does bigger mean better? We'll try and find that out in today's video, so let's get started. So we'll begin with the price. The Gerber Suspension is the more affordable option. It costs around $55 US. The Leatherman Surge, on the other hand, costs almost triple that amount at around $150 US. But does a more expensive multi-tool really make it a better option? Or is the low-cost option just as good? That's what we want to find out, and in order to score them accurately when it comes to price, we first need to look at the tools included and the specifications. So let's take a look now at the specifications first to see how they compare. The total weight for the Leatherman Surge is 12.5 ounces. The total weight for the Gerber Suspension multi-tool is 10.2 ounces. So the Leatherman is slightly heavier, which may be a deal breaker for some, but in my own personal experience, I carry a few extra pounds on myself, so an extra 2.3 ounces shouldn't be much of a big deal. In closed length, the Gerber Suspension is at 4 inches and the Leatherman Surge is at 4.5 inches. So the Leatherman is bigger by half an inch. In open length, the Gerber Suspension is at 6 inches and the Leatherman Surge is at 7 inches. So again, the Leatherman is bigger in this case by 1 whole inch. In width, the Gerber Suspension is at 1 3/4 inches and the Leatherman Surge is at 1 5/8 inches. And in thickness, the Gerber Suspension is at 3/4 of an inch and the Leatherman Surge is at 3/4 of an inch as well. So it's a tie when it comes to the thickness. Both of these multi-tools are made with stainless steel materials. They both have locking mechanisms that ensure you won't accidentally close one of the tools on yourself. And in the case of the Leatherman, it includes 2 different types of locking mechanisms on each side of the tool. So when we compare the actual specifications, you can say that the Leatherman is slightly larger in length, but they both feel just as bulky. The stainless steel quality on both are good quality. Luckily, I have not seen any corrosion on these tools yet. Now let's take a look at the tools included. The total number of tools for each are Gerber Suspension 12 tools in total and the Leatherman Surge 21 tools in total. First, we'll be comparing the similar tools both of these multi-tools have. We'll start with the needle nose pliers. The size of the needle nose pliers are Gerber Suspension 1 5/8 inches and the Leatherman Surge 1 13/16 inches. So the Leatherman pliers are bigger and actually have a wider opening in comparison to the Gerber Suspension. So this is a benefit from the Leatherman. However, the pliers on the Gerber Suspension are spring loaded, something that the Leatherman does not have. So that is a big plus for the Gerber Suspension. For the wire cutters, Gerber considers its wire cutters as just one tool. They're just called the wire cutters. On the other hand, Leatherman considers its wire cutters as 2 separate tools. And these are called premium replaceable wire cutters and premium replaceable hard wire cutters. The big difference is that the wire cutters on the Leatherman can be replaced, whereas the Gerbers cannot. So if you end up damaging the wire cutters on the Gerber, you would have to replace the entire pliers. In the case of the wire cutters of the Leatherman, you can get them replaced for around $10. Now we'll look at the knives included. Knife size and usage. In the case of the Gerber Suspension, the size of the knife is 1 7/8 inches. And for the Leatherman Surge, the knife measures 3 inches. So the Leatherman Surge does have a bigger knife. Similar case with the serrated blade, where the Gerber Suspension measures 1 7/8 inches and the Leatherman Surge measures 3 1/8 inches. The saw on the Gerber Suspension measures 1 7/8 inches, and for the Leatherman Surge, it measures 2.5 inches. Another difference to consider is that the Leatherman saw is easily replaceable thanks to its T-shank lock, which makes it easy to put on and take off. But in the case of the Gerber, you would have to unscrew the tool to have it replaced. The scissors on the Gerber Suspension measure 5/8 of an inch and it measures 2 1/8 inches for the entire scissor including the handle. On the Leatherman Surge, it measures 1 inch and 3 inches for the entire scissors including the handle. So if bigger scissors are important to you, well, the Leatherman may be the best choice. Both of these tools come with can openers and bottle openers. Gerber has the can and bottle opener tools separate, while Leatherman has one single tool that accounts as 2 tools that can open both can and bottles. Both tools include a small flathead screwdriver and also a large flathead screwdriver. And in both cases, the screwdrivers on the Leatherman are wider when comparing them to each other. Both tools also have a Phillips screwdriver. The only difference is that the Leathermans can be swapped out for a different bit, whereas the Gerbers cannot. Again, you would have to unscrew it to have it replaced if you were to damage it. Both of these tools include lanyards. Gerber actually considers this to be one of its 12 tools. The Leatherman, on the other hand, does not consider the lanyard as part of the 21 tools included. Maybe they should consider it as tool number 22. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Should it be tool number 22 or not? In the case of the Leatherman, you just have to push it out with something because it's hard to pull out and it is very well hidden. Now that we've compared the similar tools, let's just take a look at the additional tools that the Leatherman includes, and those are electrical crimpers, stranded wire cutters, all with a thread loop, ruler, wood metal file, diamond coated file, blade exchanger, and wire stripper. So you could say that the Leatherman only has 8 more tools if you want to consider that the premium replaceable wire cutters and the premium replaceable hard wire cutters count as just 1 tool instead of 2. Pros of the Leatherman Surge are that it's a great quality tool that is built to last a long time. It has 21 tools, which is almost double the amount that the Gerber Suspension has. Cons of the Leatherman are that some may consider it to be expensive, and another one is that it feels a little bit heavy and bulky. Pros of the Gerber Suspension is that it is priced reasonably for the number of tools and the quality of the steel. It may not be the best quality, but I've had mine for several years now, and it shows no signs of rust. I've seen comments from people stating that they've had their pliers break, but I guess it also comes down to the type of usage and beating we give to the tools. I can't complain so far because it's worked great for me. Cons are that some may consider it to be heavy and bulky, even though some of the tools like the knife, serrated knife, and the scissors may be seen as too small. Considering that the close length comparison is only half an inch, maybe a better storing configuration would have given the opportunity to increase the size on some of the tools like the ones just mentioned. But then again, that would have probably increased the price of the Gerber Suspension. Both multi-tools are great options, but it depends on what you're looking for in a multi-tool. If you want something easier to carry around and more affordable, then the Gerber Suspension is a great option. If you want something with more tools and has the ability to swap out and replace some of the tools more easily, then the Leatherman Surge may be a better choice. But you let me know in the comment section, which would you prefer and why? These two multi-tools are not really meant to be compared to each other, because you may consider them to be in 2 different categories. But when it comes to the price range, some people may want to see how a $150 multi-tool stacks up against a $55 one. Is it worth spending the extra $100? But you be the judge as well, and let me know in the comment section, which would you prefer?
So here is the overall score I give these two, and this is based on price, specification, tools included, and personal use. These are almost perfect tools based on the price range, and they have a good overall layout on how they're configured when it comes to specifications and tools included. And when it comes to personal use, they've just been awesome. So I give them a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Almost perfect tools.
That is all I have for y'all today. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time, and as always, have yourself a great day.